It's the Duffin Up Podcast. All right, Duff Daddies and Duff Mamas, we have on a very, very special guest for you this week. This man has created an absolute revolution in the game of golf. It is not equipment. It is not golf balls. It is not golf bags. It is deciding that a hot dog is no longer good enough for the turn, that a hot dog needs to be in its right place in the garbage, and instead we will be having tacos at the turn from now on. That is right. Short rib tacos, birria tacos, chicken tacos, fried shrimp tacos, fish tacos. We will have tacos at the turn from now on. We welcome on Nelson Castro from Tacos at the Turn. Nelson, how are you doing this evening?
Doing great, man. Thank you so much for that great introduction. And man, I don't know if I can say anything to follow that up, but I'm really hyped up now for sure.
I pride myself on the introduction. So we do our best on that side, but I will say I am so happy that you were able to make it on this week. I know we've kind of pushed the dates around a little bit, but I definitely wanted to first question, why is the hot dog no longer good enough for the turn?
Well, look, nothing really against a hot dog, okay? It's a fine food, but it's had its time, right? It's kind of like a metaphor for what's going on in golf now, out with the old and with the new. Golf is different now. You can think of the hot dog as old and crusty and flavorless. Now we're on to something better, right? We're on to a different game. We're on to a different food at the turn, and that's tacos at the turn.
I love it. I mean, I know we've said it before, but I absolutely love it. This is fantastic.
That's a flawless answer. I absolutely agree. I'm all in. Count me in.
Yeah, but you know that this is still really controversial, though, right? It's quite a divisive issue in America.
I'm a hot dog guy, and I approve of your answer. I love hot dogs.
I'm so excited that you are bringing this into light, because people like me who don't really care for hot dogs, I don't hate them, but I just I don't love buying hot dogs because I don't enjoy them as much as other people. So I've always been looking for this alternative way of nourishment at the turn. Usually I just turn to a Snicker bar, or they have a tuna sandwich or a sausage, but tacos, count me in 10 times out of 10, because we get some breakfast tacos if it's early in the morning, for those down in Texas there. And then we also just have tacos all day, every day. Count me in.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and midnight snack.
I mean, that is the next question, isn't it? What is the best type of taco to have at the turn?
All right, so you have to make it so that it's good for the masses, right? Something that everybody's gonna like. So it has to be a taco de carne asada taco, a steak taco, right? That's what's going to be appealing to the most number of people. But there's so many other meats out there that are so good. I just think that people don't know about them. So we also have to educate people about the different types of tacos that are available out there.
I was about to say an El Pastor taco at the turn might be one of the best things that I could ever imagine. Just got that nice little in there. Oh, the unbelievable. So I think a birria might be too, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, because now that we've gone from what's the best taco at the turn, what would be a taco that is too messy? So you think of the hot dogs, you got chili cheese dogs, can't have that at the turn. Most of the time, a hot dog with mustard, you got to put the mustard at the bottom, because if it goes on, you're screwed, especially if you're wearing a white shirt. What would be a taco that you're just like, honestly, we can't have you. You're going to fall out. It's going to be ruined. Everything like that.
I think you already said it, right? The birria taco. And that's because of all the juices, right? The broth. And especially, well, in a little bit, I want to know how the taco scene is in your area. But if you know about birria tacos, but obviously you know about birria tacos. So, there's something going on there. So usually you get birria tacos and you have the broth that you can dip it in, right? So that can get messy. I don't think that would work in a golf cart. unless you don't mind a bunch of spots on your shirt. Don't wear white polo. Okay.
Driving around. Yeah. Those
Or
bumpy-
somebody. Have you guys seen what is it? The hot dog caddy.
Oh,
Oh, is that
Have you seen that?
Yeah, is that what
The
like,
holder?
does it clip onto the cart?
Yeah.
Or
Yes, I have
So
seen that. That's unbelievable.
somebody has to invent the taco caddy.
Mhm.
Did
Count me
Tacos
in.
at the Turn just as well as with their apparel just come up with another a new
Hey,
taco
maybe
caddy?
so, man. Very
Ooh.
inventive over here.
That
No, but oh, sorry. I 100% agree with you, Nelson. I think the birria is it is delicious. It is most of the time it is pan fried to perfection, but it's just a little too messy. Just a
Yeah.
little too messy for the Turn.
Yeah, and messy's fine, but not when you're on the golf course.
and I'm driving. Yeah.
Oh, you're one of those guys. You probably end up in the bunker or something.
Yeah, I often forget I'm driving, and that's when we end up going off the path where we need to be going. I get a little distracted. But Tim, you were gonna ask a question. I saw you were talking.
well, no, I think normalize and just make tacos the only option at every single turn across the country. But have it be regional. Like if you say I go to Maine, I'm gonna have a lobster taco. If I go to
Oh,
Texas, I'm
gosh.
gonna have a brisket taco. Go to I don't know, like New Mexico, I'm gonna have like a legit taco. And
Florida, you got a gator taco.
No,
I've had gator taco before,
Really?
and guess what?
tacos.
Tastes like chicken.
Of course it
That's
does.
it.
That's the problem. It really does. And I hate those stupid freaking dinosaurs. Oh my God, they're the absolute worst. But what can you do?
The most exotic I've gone, which isn't really that exotic, but it's definitely the most unique taco I have, was just like cow tongue. It's just like the most chewy
Yeah,
chewy
lengua.
taco I've ever had.
Yeah.
Did
Did you like it?
Yeah, I loved it. It was great. It was
Yeah, it's
fantastic.
great.
It just my jaw was exhausted. I was
So let me tell you
yeah.
real quick. Real quick, when I was younger, my mom would cook that for us, like for dinner. And
Really?
we'd be like, oh, that's so nasty, especially when you see it at the store, like at the supermarket, and they have that big ass tongue sitting there in the case. You're like, oh gosh, that's nasty. But I think this happens to a lot of us. All the stuff that you hated as a kid, like that your mom used to cook, now you love it, right? Because that's one of my favorite tacos too, the lengua taco.
What is your favorite taco of all?
So my
of all time?
favorite is tripas.
Okay.
So that's beef intestine. And yeah, another thing that sounds nasty, right?
No.
But if
Like
they
a
cook it up,
like tripe, basically. So
yeah,
right.
mhm,
Oh,
yeah.
interesting.
When it's cooked just right, like at the right crispiness, it's just so flavorful and so good, man. I love it.
Oh, that does sound good. Oh, that really does sound good. Yeah, you're right. You can cook anything the right way. It's like bluefish. If you catch a bluefish, people are like, bluefish is terrible. You can't eat that. But if you cook anything the right way, it's edible. And I'm with you, Brian. I do like the beef tongue. I had that once. And what do you call it? Tripas?
Tripas.
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 Oh, I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah.
Try
So
that.
guys, let me know, how is the taco scene over there? You guys are from the
Garbage.
Boston area?
Garbage.
Boston-ish?
Garbage. It's fine. It's fine. There's some good spots, but like, yeah, no, it's
A lot of
it's-
chains, like a lot of local chain restaurants
Yeah.
that are like mass produced. It's like
Okay.
a little bit like above above Chipotle, but it's nothing compared. I mean, I have one place down the road for me, Burro Bar. It's like the best taco I've had in Boston easily.
Okay.
And but those tacos are like $8 for one taco, or even more than that. And it's like, yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah, they're like $8 tacos, but it is honestly one of the best tacos. They got the homemade tortillas, the corn tortillas.
Oh, nice.
Which
Yeah.
is like, and the flour ones as well. So I'm like, this is actually really good, and it's not a chain. It's actually just like a one restaurant. So
Yeah, those are the best. Like the mom and pop shops, the hole in
Yeah.
the walls, those are the best.
great.
Yeah, I
market.
was trying to do some research on the Boston area, and I didn't see much, right? Well, first of all,
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
don't.
That's why we have you
Mexico.
here. We need you. We need you to come over here and help us out. This is just a plea.
We do not have Mexican food. I mean, there are some very good spots, but like Mexican food here is not like if you got a taco here, you would be like, this isn't a taco. This is a taco from Taco Bell. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like it would.
Do you have Taco Bell over there?
Oh yeah. Oh
They-
yeah.
Okay.
We
yeah.
got fourth meal. We got
They
fourth
just
meal.
opened up a Taco Bell cantina right down the street from me. So it's like the one that serves the alcohol in it too. The Taco Bell
wow.
cantina. So
I haven't heard of those.
that Baja Blast with a little bit of tequila or vodka or whatever kind you want to put in there. Ooh, that's a late night. I might go there tonight now.
That sounds good, actually.
Yeah.
It's honestly like in Rhode Island, you kind of have to go to like the food trucks, that kind of scene to get that authentic, you know, mom and pop, like you were talking about. It's all about the food trucks because there's
Yeah.
That's where I had the cow tongue was a food truck in Rhode Island because it was authentic.
I definitely will say on that side too, like when you go, I mean, I was in Austin, like probably Austin, Texas, like 2 years ago, like, and the fact that they just have like trucks everywhere and it's just like you go into like this little area and it's like dollar tacos and they're some of the best and they're literally the best tacos you've ever eaten. I'm like, yep, like we don't have that. we don't have that. So I would love it if we had that up here, but it's too cold for taco trucks, unfortunately.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I know that you have a pretty good sized Latino population, but they're not Mexican people, right? Mostly like Puerto Ricans, Dominicans.
Huge Dominican and Puerto Rican populations up here. It's definitely on that side. So
we have a sneaky amount of El Salvadorians. We got a lot of pupusas around me, which are I love a good pupusa, especially if they're done right. They're
so here's another one of my crazy ideas. Okay.
Ooh.
Here we go. So
pupusa at that turn, that doesn't ring.
Maybe no. Take the pupusa and use that as the tortilla, right? And then put your taco meat and all the stuff in it, and that's like your pupusa taco, and you call it a putaco.
This is sounding like some Taco Bell stuff where they're just throwing everything together.
That sounds kind of like a bad word, but you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it sounds like an adult film.
Putaco.
That's like a that's like a torta almost. Just whatever you want to throw in, just throw it in there.
But no, that's a brilliant idea because pupusas are good on their own, and then you add in more. I'm in. Take my money.
Try it next time.
Tacos at the turn. Food tacos. now we've graduated. Am I right? We've gone from just regular tacos now to food tacos.
We got to keep this moving. We got to keep going forward.
Nelson, I got a question for you. As far as the accompaniment of these tacos at the turn, what is the number one beverage to go with these tacos?
All right. So I usually like to get a Mexican Coke, or there's a beverage company called Jarritos. They make like all these like all the different like fruit flavors, right? So I like those.
All the colorful drinks in the refrigerator. Those are awesome.
The pineapple.
Or of course, pineapple for sure. And you can never go wrong with horchata either.
Horchata, I love horchata.
Yeah, it's
or even agua fresca is bomb.
Oh yeah. So tamarindo, jamaica. Yeah, you guys know what's up, dude.
I'm surprised we didn't go like Corona or Presidente or anything like that.
Don't get us wrong. We may not have the best taco places, but we still get it. We still go to all these places. Doesn't stop.
I'm actually I'm drinking a Corona right now.
Yeah, there we go.
Which I'll tell you the truth, it's not my favorite beer. I used to drink these like crazy when I was in my 20s, but I kind of grew tired of them, but we had a party and we had a bunch left over, so I'm just trying to get rid of them.
It's okay. Modelo's better. Everyone knows Modelo's better anyways.
Or Dos Equis. Have you tried Dos Equis?
Dos Equis is great.
Yeah, that's good.
Even Landshark is borderline. We're a big Jimmy Buffett guys, so Landshark can touch upon that genre of beers at least.
I haven't tried that, but I'll give it a try.
So whenever there's a bit like all of the Mexican restaurants around here, they do like whenever they have like $2 beers or anything like that, it's always Tecate. And and I enjoy it sometimes.
Are you sure?
It kind of depends on the can.
You like the
sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
The happy hour, the non-existent happy hour. That
non-existent happy hour, exactly.
That's the biggest bummer. Boston has had the happy hour laws. It's been banned since when was that? I don't even know.
The 80s.
Since
Yeah, the 80s or the 70s,
What?
I think.
Yeah, so we don't.
What
So
does
no,
that
it's-
mean?
it's-
Happy hour is banned.
so we get they
Happy
can't do
hour's
like
banned.
drink. They can't do like drink specials like during like happy hour. They don't
Because
they
you guys
don't-
get too crazy or what?
in the 80s. In the 80s, they did.
Yeah. Yeah, Boston was I would say was probably not the best place in the world in the 1980s. It's gotten much better. It's much, much better now. But yeah, back then it was an interesting place. I mean, I wasn't alive, but I've heard stories that it was an interesting place.
Bunch of bar brawls, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Whitey-
I mean those still exist, but
the Whitey Bulger era and all that stuff, all that good mob stuff. It's all very interesting. But no, I absolutely love it. And so with that, I guess talking more onto it. So tacos at the turn. This is an idea you had. What have you turned it into? What do you plan to continue to grow it as? What is tacos at the turn? Like, what's it all about?
Yeah. So I always say it's a brand, a movement, and a lifestyle, right? Tacos at the turn. But
that's the ultimate trifecta right there.
Put that on a t-shirt or something.
I just might. So at first, when I came back to playing golf, and then I hopped on Instagram to check out all these golf pages, right? I saw a lot going on with the cool brands, right? I'm like, damn, like I want to be a part of that. So, I'm like, I'm gonna just do it. I'm not gonna think about it. I'm just gonna start doing it. But first, I had to come up with the name. So I started brainstorming. I got my pen and my pad. I started writing down names, right? The first one was golf and tacos, but I saw that somebody already had the trademark on that. So then I suddenly, all of a sudden, tacos at the turn popped in my head. I'm like, yeah, that's the one. That's the one. I just like the sound of it, the way it rolls off the tongue, the meaning of it. Like, I just thought it was perfect. So I went with that. I have my apparel. I have hats. It's casual golf apparel for people that play at the munis and stuff like that. Hats, t-shirts, hoodies. But yeah, so that's what's going on the apparel side. But as far as the movement, I am very interested in having tacos at the turn become a big thing, like to have actual tacos being served at the turn, having that be like the norm instead of the exception, because it's still kind of rare right now. You'll see some courses do it. Some courses have tacos available in at the clubhouse, right at the restaurant. And then what's happening a lot over here in Southern California is that we're getting the taco carts out on the golf course. A lot of tournaments are doing that now. Yeah, so that there's a big movement like building up in that way. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Have you been able to take credit in any golf course, like adapting that idea of offering tacos? Like, are you starting this movement?
So I pitched it. I was in Vegas like last year, and I went to Angel Park golf course, and they had like a little shack at the turn where you can order food. And of course, they had hot dogs. And then when I got back home, I made a comment on their Instagram, like, say you should have tacos at the turn at the shack. And like, oh, we're going to try to implement that as soon as possible. So I haven't heard that they've actually done it, but once they do, yes, I'll definitely take credit for that.
I love that. You 100% should, by the way. You absolutely should.
Yeah. Shout out to Angel Park.
Yeah, right. If you're listening. But no, I think you absolutely lucked out with the golf and tacos being taken, because tacos at the turn rolls off
much
the tongue.
better name.
Yeah.
Much better name.
It's a question. Tacos at the turn. It's an exclamation. Tacos at the turn. Or
Right,
tacos
right.
at the turn. It's so versatile. I love
There
it.
you go.
That's a commercial in itself right there. That's unreal. So I think that's totally cool. Right now I'm just in limbo. It's tuna at the turn, but that's not as good as we want.
Tuna at the turn. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that one's gonna stick there, Bry Guy, but we
working
can
on
work
it.
on it.
Keep brainstorming.
So one of the things I definitely want to talk about, Nelson, is you mentioned that you kind of went away from the game for a bit. So I want to hear kind of your story about what got you into the game, maybe as a youngster in kind of your teen years, college years, and then what brought you back to the game as well.
Sure. So when I was growing up, there was nobody around me that played golf. I didn't know anybody that played golf. None of my family, none of my friends. It wasn't until I got a lot older that my brothers and one of my friends started playing. And they're like, "You should come out with us." I'm like, "No, that's that shit looks boring. Like, I don't want to play golf." But they kept asking me and asking me, and one day I got out there, and of course, like, everybody says, I got hooked instantly after that first time. So I started playing, and I started playing very regularly, like once a week. But I wasn't any good. I'm still not any good, but back
Hey,
then,
don't
it
worry.
really,
The name of the podcast is Duffin Up for a reason.
It rings
yeah,
true.
I'm at the right place. I'm at the right place. So, I wasn't very good, but it started getting to me. Like, I would get very frustrated. I'd be out on the course, duffing it up, and
Mhm.
it would just get to me, and I wasn't having fun. And I would tell myself, I'm supposed to be having fun out here, and I'm not. So I kind of just left the game alone for a while, for about 5 years, so quite a while. And then the pandemic hit, and that same friend that kind of brought me into it invited me out again. I'm like, you know what? I'll get out there. There's nothing else to do. So I'll go ahead and get out there. And this time, I told myself, you know what? I'm just going to have fun. I'm not going to care what I shoot. I don't care. I'm not going to care, if I mess up. Just going to go out there and have fun and enjoy it. And that's my attitude now. And I think, um, well, that's how I started. That's why I quit. And then that's how I got back into it. And now I'm just having a great time with it.
Awesome.
I will say, I truly think, and it's funny, maturing in golf is realizing you're not Tiger Woods and finally accepting the fact that golf is just a fun game. And I will tell you that I have done that. I think since COVID hit, I have definitely become less about I'm going to go out and try and shoot par because I can't, and more I'm just going to go out and enjoy the game. And let me tell you, I've had some of my best rounds with that mindset. Like I shot 79 with that mindset of like,
Yeah.
let's just go out and have fun. And then meanwhile, when I'm like, I'm going to go shoot par and do all this and try and shot shape, I shoot 95. So like, it's like you go
crazy
out
game.
there and it's one of those things where I think it's unbelievable that and it does bring you back where once you realize it's a game and we're having fun, it brings you into a different mindset. And I think that's been really helpful, at least for my game too.
Yeah,
It's all
sure.
it's all in your name. I mean, tacos at the turn. It's your name isn't striking it or going low. It's tacos at the turn. It's something. It's way more important, and it just to have fun and worry about food at the turn. I mean, that's what's important to us is let's have tacos at the turn rather than a hot dog or whatever. You know what I mean? That's just your
Yeah,
name.
man.
It's just perfect in so many different.
It's like get out there with your friends, have a few drinks, maybe play some music, have some tacos, and just have a good time. Who cares what you shoot?
Don't get me
And
wrong.
if you go low, even better. But
Right,
that's not the expectation.
No, don't get me wrong. I love to play well, but
Of course,
yeah,
isn't that the best feeling? Right?
It really.
That's the best feeling, right? If you go low, I mean, for you, relative, right? If you can go low, you go
Personal
home
best.
with the biggest. You're driving home with the biggest smile on your face.
Huge
Yeah.
smile. You're going to bed.
And no one off the golf course really cares that much.
And then you go home and tell
Unless
your
you-
wife, and she like blows you off.
Yeah.
Who cares?
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, cool. Now do
The only
dishes.
time people care about what you shoot is if you have a hole in one, and it's because they get a free drink, and you care because you have to go and pay for said free drink. So
Why is that a thing? Like you got the hole in one, but you have to buy
yes,
drinks for
so
everybody else. Shouldn't you
I
get the
know
drink?
this. I actually know this. I looked it
A
up.
golf
It
historian here.
was yes, it was back in the day. So it was an honors thing where to prove that you truly made a hole in one, you would have to buy everyone a drink at the bar. So that way people wouldn't lie about their scores because it costs money. So
Okay.
that is why they started that tradition. So that way people wouldn't lie about getting a hole in one. And so when you go in and you say you got a hole in one, you got to buy everyone around.
I see. That makes sense.
A lot of the clubs now will do hole in one insurance. Like I remember talking about this to like a a PGA professional, and they were like, yeah, you can buy it in for like $50 a year, basically. You buy it in, and if you get a hole in one, like the insurance, the club will cover it, basically.
Wow.
So that way, but again, if you buy it for $50 a year, like most likely, you know, you may hit like 2 in your life, and if you're there for 20 years, you're definitely outgrowing that hole in one amount.
That's interesting. So do you guys have the fear of playing alone and getting hole in one?
All the time.
Yes, that is my that is literally like, and like not record, because like I don't really record. Timmy does a pretty good job recording himself out on the course. Like I don't really do a good job of recording myself, and that would be my worst nightmare, is if I get a hole in one and like I just yell and there's no one there. There's not a sound.
That would be bad.
I definitely would walk off the course. I don't think I would finish the round. I would be so distraught / pumped. I don't think mentally, I don't think I would be able to do it. Cause like, what do you do the next hole? What are you doing? I mean, like, obviously we've never been in that position, but I think I would shut down. I might pass away. Honestly, I don't know what I would do.
Nelson, say that happens to you. Do you tell anyone?
Of course. Of course I tell people, but you know, it sucks.
You
like
tell the
nobody was there to
world.
see it.
But does
Nobody
it
was there
count?
to see.
You know?
It counts,
Oh, it counts
for me. But I think only for me.
Right. And then
No, it
Believe
100%
me, I would still,
counts.
get the ball framed and have like a certificate
Yeah.
and the you know what? But
Yeah.
Nobody else is gonna believe me.
Do you happen to have any hole in ones while we're on the topic?
Not yet. No.
that's neither.
Welcome to the club, baby. Welcome to the club. That's usually one of our like last questions. But we did jump the line, but that's okay. That's okay.
But while we're on the topic, I just want to do a sidebar. Tim, go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, we have a very devoted listener. We ran into him the other day. We were on the way to a PC game, PC Friars, go Friars. We're on our way, and he's like, "Hey, listen to the podcast all the time." He's like a family friend. I won't say his full name, but Mr. Rose, glad hopefully you're listening. But he had the only hole in one Brian and I have ever seen. So it's getting to be very dark. It's this short 100 yard par,
like 118, 119.
Yeah, it was something so short. Downhill, it's very dark. There's a hill on one side that just kind of slopes down to the green. So anyway, he hits the shot. It's getting dark. My sister's there with us. So it's the 3 O'Reilly kids, me, Brian, and my sister and him. And we're just having a good time. He hits this shot. We're running to get into the clubhouse. It's getting dark. This is the 8th hole. We're only playing 9. And so we all found our balls except for him. So we're looking for his ball. We know it was headed towards the little bit of a hill right here. You know, it could have went into the water. This green is surrounded by water. This ball could have been in the water. It could have been anywhere but on the green. But we're looking. And like 2 minutes go by. It's pitch black. All of a sudden, Brian goes, "Hey, Mr. Rose, what ball are you playing?" And he's like, "Whatever, Titleist 3." And he goes, "Ball's in the hole." He hit a hole. Incredible.
He was like getting ready to take a drop, right? I think he was like in the drop area, getting warmed up, and of course, like we didn't see it go in because it was getting dark and it was kind of a hidden, and it was a crazy member bounce. And so that the hole was the last place that we were gonna look. But I'm always optimistic. I always check, even if I have one of the worst shots and I can't find my ball. I'm like, I gotta check the cup just in case. And I was like, it's in here, which was so cool. And we were all in awe. We were all so like just baffled by it. And he was just like, he's like, "No kidding." And I don't know how he kind of looked like he was floating for the rest of the round. One more hole to go, because he was just confused, overjoyed. And I mean,
what a feeling.
This is at a private club too. So he had to actually pay for all the beers. They start a hole in one tab. So he actually had received the brunt of it there. So.
And he's such a nice, humble guy, like very just stand-up gentleman. And he's like, "You guys saw it, right? Like, this is what I'm playing." He's just like worried, like, because it wasn't a traditional hole in one. So he's like just making sure we went through the proper steps in order to make sure it was an actual hole in one. But they had that lottery thing too, like Brendan was talking about. Everyone pays in to a hole in one fund, so he didn't actually have to pay. But shout out, Mr. Rose. Hopefully you're listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Nice job, Mr. Rose. So another fear of mine is that I'll go my whole life without a hole in one,
Oh,
which could very well happen.
Yeah.
That is I think that's every golfer's true nightmare is like that, or and like honestly no, it's literally just not making a hole in one, because I think like if you ever make an eagle, like I mean if you make it a hole in one, you make a fucking eagle, right? So like that's the thing, you kill two birds with one stone,
Yeah.
literally.
But
on
I've
that.
eagled. I've eagled a couple, like
Yeah.
a bunch of times, but
Yeah.
it's not the same. I mean,
No, I think I have like 3 or 4 eagles to my name and that's it. But it's just like at the same time, I think it's a hole in one. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man,
of course.
so scary.
so scary.
So scary.
Oh my God. Wow, you opened up a can of worms with that question.
And we ask it every podcast, and it still sparks the discussion.
Yeah.
It really does.
Brings up all the feels, huh?
It really does. Like people get heated. We had one guest who was like or no, he wasn't like mad, but like our friend Chunky Golfer, shout out Chunky, he was like, you guys are really gonna ask me this? And I was like, yeah, why? And he's like, literally yesterday in my round, I hit one to 3 inches and it just stopped.
Oh my god.
And I was like, no.
Wow.
Tim's face asked the question and went like bright red, like the brightest of red when he was I was like, oh
It was too soon, right?
Yeah,
Still a
opening
sore,
up
still a sore spot.
just putting salt in the wound right there. Chunky.
oh man. But yeah, no, it that one causes, I mean, there's other questions that we ask at the end that cause very, very heated debates, but that is one where it's just like you either get like an immediate smile or people are usually like, why did you ask me that?
Nelson, I'm curious. What is someone who is making the turn looking for tacos? What is a guy like you have in the bag? What are you swinging? What is your drivers, your irons? What do you like to play?
Oh, sure. So my irons are Callaway Maverick Max. Love Callaway irons. I had the Big Berthas before that.
Brendan's a Cal.
I have
Apex babies. I'm a huge mixed bag guy though, so I play Callaway irons, but everything else is mixed.
Yeah, I have kind of a mixed bag too. So my wedges are old. They're like, what are they? They're Adams Golf. These
Wow, I love it.
yeah, I have Adams Golf wedges that are kind of old. I have my driver, my 3-wood is Tour Edge.
Okay.
Kind of cheaped
Okay,
out on it,
someone
but I
likes to
hear
win.
the technology's the
Poor
same,
quality.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
What else do I have? Oh yeah, my hybrids Tour Edge. And then I have my crazy putter, which we call Thor's hammer. Do you guys know about Lab Golf?
Lab.
I've heard of Lab Tech, but maybe that's it's probably a different brand.
So this thing looks, I don't know, like a spaceship maybe. I'm telling you, I see somebody's Googling it, right?
Yeah.
Tim, did you Google it?
Yeah.
So this thing is massive.
Looks like a bottle opener.
Yeah, it does look like a bottle opener, but that thing is huge. It's supposed to help with the torque so that you have a straight backswing. It doesn't work for me though.
This
But
thing
yeah,
is unbelievable.
that's what I have, and all my friends call it Thor's hammer.
When you said Thor's hammer, I thought immediately that it was going to be one of those Peter putters that looks like it's I don't necessarily want you to Google it, but the Peter putter.
It's a putter that's shaped like a Peter. If you
Yeah.
catch the drift,
That's what it is, huh? Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I was like
won't Google
Thor's
that.
hammer. I was like, oh gosh. But
oh, we got a dick putter, boys.
yeah, right.
I'm interested. They got all sorts of putters here. This is fantastic. They got simple putters. They got complex putters. You introduced me to this. This is great.
So watch the video that they have for that particular putter, and you'll see why I bought it. But again, it's
they got you with the advertisement.
Yeah.
I love it.
Now, did you get fitted for it? I see that they do fittings and such.
So that's the thing. You're supposed to get fitted for it. I did not. So what I did, I kind of did my own research as far as what size putter I already had, what I should have, and I bought it on sale. It had some slight manufacturer defect that I couldn't even see, so I got it for half price. Because as you can see, that they're pretty expensive.
These are not cheap. Yeah, that's the first one I see is a $750. That's more than a Scotty.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But if it works for you, that's there's no price that you won't pay to be able to putt. Does it work
Well,
for you?
you know,
you got
that's
you
another
made a
story.
face.
That's another story, you know. But I don't think it's a putter. I think it's me.
Yeah.
My putting is not that great. And you know
That's
what?
okay.
I especially like the short putts, like 2-3 footers. I'm terrible at those. I think it's very
The
mental though.
yips.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm better at like long putts and getting it close, but once I get into that range, I think it's all mental. Like I'm like, don't miss, don't miss, don't miss, and of course I miss.
Yeah. You're like don't miss by a little. I'd rather miss by a lot so that I don't have a short putt coming in.
Rather have an 8-footer than a 2-footer.
I would, because there's no pressure.
Right.
You know?
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, that's putting. There's obviously studies. There's so much that goes into putting for such a
Mhm.
simple part of the game. But it's
Yeah.
for the most part, it all comes down to practice and who has the time to just go
exactly.
practice the whole time.
Exactly.
I would love
It's
to.
supposed to be the easiest part of the game because all it is just a pendulum back and forth, but it is, I mean, you get the yips up there. I know for years I was horrible at putting. So I feel you, Nelson, man.
Dude, I get so shaky on my backswing. Like sometimes if I can, I'll stop myself. But
Mhm.
sometimes you just gotta keep going.
Do you have the Will Zalatoris, like the one that just goes like it kind of
Pretty
goes all
much,
over
yeah.
the place? You don't know
I
where
think
it's
he
gonna
fixed
go.
that though, didn't he? I haven't
He
fixed it.
did after he freaking came in second place like 3 times in a row,
Mm.
and all he could do was his putter was just like literally doing like a figure 8 in the back.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
Well, that's what's so funny is obviously that the phrase "putt like a kid." It's just the people that like when you go play mini golf or putt with like people that don't golf regularly, and they're just like my friends that don't golf at all will go play mini golf, and they're lights out because they like I'm there like reading the green, trying to figure out the break, the angles off the walls, and they're just hitting it and like holing out from getting holes in ones, and I'm like reading the break and it's just screwing with my head, and I get so mad playing mini golf just because like I play golf way more than I should and definitely way more than my friends, and it doesn't translate because I'm just overthinking it. And
Do you take your putter to mini golf?
I know it's funny. We actually when we went down to Florida at Mystic Dunes Golf Resort, they had like a mini golf course that was just like open, like it was just basically just the holes, and you go and you bring your own ball, your own putter, and we all had our nice putters out there, and it was right about like the first couple of months. Well, at least maybe I had the Scotty for like a year at this point, but it's still my baby. I don't want to put any dings in it, and so I was so nervous when the ball's up against this like the wall that's like all brick wall, and I'm like I can't do this. I really can't. It's just really nerve-wracking. Whereas if you use like the mini golf putters, you could just whack it. It's just
bang it into the wall.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
it's amazing.
I know.
It's amazing.
And our Mike who's not here, he's the other host. His brother, his putter, his full-time putter is just a flat stick. Actually, no, he upgraded, but he used to use just the flat stick, like double-sided putter. He would just go out there and bang around, which is great. I mean, not.
Well, Mike Spalding is like that too, isn't it? Though, isn't Mike Spalding a double side?
No, it's got a little bit of it's like a Phil Mickelson putter, so to speak.
Gotcha.
Just like a little lip at the back, and that works for him. He has a Spalding putter, but it's not Spalding the brand like the basketball. It's spelled a different way.
Oh, okay.
And he's had that since childhood, and I mean he's one of the better putters that I know. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Literally, he got it elongated because like he was like he pulled a Jordan Spieth. He was just like, I'm not getting rid of the putter. Like he uses that thing like crazy.
You know, speaking of putters, one time I played with a guy who had a ping putter that actually made that ping sound. Have you guys ever heard that?
Mm-hmm. It's like one of the original. That's where it got its name. And
Yeah.
it turns heads for sure. People like you
Yeah.
hear it from the next
For
hole
sure,
over.
yeah.
That's the last thing.
I finally got him
more
like,
attention.
oh, ping. That's why they call it ping.
Right.
It's like, what are those things? I was this years old when I learned.
yeah. That was today's
Yeah,
day.
there you go.
Yeah. Which is so true. But it's kind of like, why would you overcomplicate and come up with this name when it names itself? It
Right.
really does. But
Is there anything
Yeah,
more fun? Is there anything more fun when you're putting well? I mean, you're just like you are.
That
Like,
feels
you
great.
know, it doesn't happen when you're doing it. You're like 5 feet in. You're hitting everything.
I don't know if it's putting well or driving well. I don't know which is the better feeling, if I'm being completely honest. Like, if you're hitting every fairway with your driver, like, that's, to me, that is unbelievable. But I will give you, if you're hitting every putt 10 feet and in, that's something as well. That may be the better feeling.
Yeah, I'll go with the putting, because even when you hit the fairway every time, you can still mess that up.
yeah, you have so many shots between
yeah.
now and the end of the hole that you can
But-
totally
That is
just
true.
ruin
Exactly.
the vibe. Yeah,
But if you get in on the green,
That is true.
if you get on the green and you make it, in one putt, then you're ecstatic.
right. Yeah, you ride that high until you tee off next. you get that moment, and you're waiting for everybody else to finish up, as opposed to just you have a perfect drive, but then you're just hacking it around all over the hole.
Even like on a par 4, if it took you 4 shots to get to the hole or get to the green, you're still gonna make that one. You're like, all right, I squeaked away with a bogey there thanks to my putting.
Yeah.
Still a great feeling.
100%. So Nelson, I did want to ask, you had this great golf journey, started it, got the bug. What made you decide to go into kind of creating a golf, we know about Tacos at the Turn now. All of us are all in on it. How did you go from, man, Tacos at the Turn sounds great, to actually wanting to do like branding, clothing, everything like that as well?
I guess I've always had like an entrepreneurial spirit, but I always like overthought everything. I've had like several business ideas, right? And then I just think about it to the point where I get paralyzed, and then I don't do anything. I don't take action. So, when I got this idea, I'm like, you know what? This time it's going to be different, and I'm just going to start doing, right? I'm just going to jump into it and just start doing. And, maybe I wasn't ready. Maybe I didn't know some things. Maybe I did some things wrong, but I was glad that I was just doing it for a change.
No, that's kind of with everything. I feel like that's unbelievable, where it's just kind of head in and you just go, yep, we're going to do it. Right. Like,
Just jump in. Yeah.
It's kind of what we did with the podcast too. You kind of just go with it and you see if it works, and it's obviously working, man. I mean, getting out here, like, I heard you I heard you talk about it on the Save Par Golf podcast, which are friends of ours. Shout out to Eric and Dominic.
Let me cut in real quick. So
Yeah.
Dominic wanted me to mention that their podcast is more fun. So I told him, hey, no promises, but one thing I can promise you is that you'll always be my first.
Oh,
that was my first podcast.
I'm still waiting for Dom's still waiting for that. That's all he wanted out of this. That's really what he wanted you to say, that you're number one in his heart.
But very cool guys, man. I love those guys. Very cool.
They are
Yeah.
What a compliment.
Consider this beef. We are absolutely beefing with the Safe Par podcast. It's on.
Oh man, they would. No,
you guys outnumber them though.
We do outnumber them. Thank God, we do outnumber them. Although Dom could probably take like 2 or 3 of us by himself. He's a very, very large, very built man, and then Derek just comes in for the kill. But yeah, no, we when I first heard you on there, and I heard that you were building kind of this brand and the whole idea behind it, it was unbelievable, and I knew we had to have you on. But yeah, Dom, keep telling yourself you guys are more fun over there. Keep telling yourself. Keep telling. They don't ask the same questions.
What kind of
I appreciate you.
What kind of taco would they have in their region? The Minnesota
So
taco.
I did some research on their.
caribou, like
I did some research on their area too, and they actually have a pretty good Mexican population there, and some pockets of, you know, like you know how a lot of big cities have that their towns like Chinatown or Little
Mhm.
Italy. So they have a
Yep.
lot of good stuff there from what I've seen as
Big
far as
Norwegian,
Mexican food and tacos.
big Norwegian population in Minnesota as well, which is interesting.
very,
because
very large
They are
Norwegians.
so
Mhm.
smack dab in the middle of the country. It's just wild to see that like these like communities form or these immigrants all move to the same
Mhm.
place smack dab in the middle. It's not like a major port or anything where
Hmm.
that's easily accessible like New York City. There's no surprise why it's a melting pot, because it's one of the first cities that you come to via land when you're coming from the east. But no, that's interesting. I mean, Tim did some time over in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and theirs was cheese curds. They were big on their cheese, all the Wisconsin cheese and all that. So that's what I pictured
Mhm.
over there in the Midwest, was a lot of cheese curds and
So they
cheese.
probably make some pretty good quesadillas then.
Quesadillas at the time, that'd be
Mhm.
great. Either one.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Very. Oh God. Imagine that. Imagine a cheese curd case. So you have the fried cheese curd within a quesadilla.
Pop some
I like it.
Pico de Gallo on that. You got yourself a dia.
Yeah, this is just becoming a test
Oh.
kitchen right here, podcast.
I know, right? And we still have food questions to come as well. So don't
Wow.
worry. But no, but that's, I mean, and so Nelson, obviously being from California, what part of California are you again? Sorry.
The LA area. So I'm in LA County.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I'm in a place called the San Fernando Valley, which is just a little bit
Okay.
north of the city of Los Angeles.
Gotcha. So you
I heard
guys get
somebody say, yeah,
very,
you're
very
familiar with
hot over there.
who's familiar with that area? I heard somebody say, yeah.
Well, it's weird that a lot of movies take place in the San Fernando Valley.
Yeah.
Like I'm embarrassed to admit this, but remember Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff? Boy, Hilary Duff, she is fantastic.
Looks better than ever still.
Yeah. That one, and then
Ageless wonder, Hilary Duff. Even though she's only like 30.
She's not that old, right?
Ageless wonder. Yeah, she's like 36. Like she's unbelievable.
Dude, I'm embarrassed to say I used to watch her show on, what was it, Disney?
Lizzie McGuire.
Lizzie McGuire. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I used to watch that show.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was like already like really old, and like my friends would be like, what the hell are you doing, dude? Like, it's a cool show.
Absolutely.
It's great. It's awesome. I know. And that recently just came back up with Aaron Carter's passing, and Hillary tweeted about it just because of that one episode with Aaron Carter on it for the holiday episode, which was a great episode because Aaron Carter obviously was massive at that time. So that's so very topical these days. R.I.P. Aaron.
And shout out
Seriously.
Please edit that part out, though. I can't ruin my street cred.
One
No, now we're gonna
take. Everyone knows the rules.
Now we're
No
clipping
editing.
it, clipping it,
Because
putting it
I
on
don't know how
TikTok.
to edit, but
Exposed.
I'm a man of many facets,
Exposed.
actually.
Yeah, you got to put that on the about column on your website.
Loves Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah,
they're just gonna. Hey, Nelson is a Renaissance man. Okay, he can have many different passions.
That's right. I
One
like
just
what I like.
has to be
Yeah.
Hilary Duff.
you can take him home to meet the parents immediately. Good wholesome content.
Great wholesome content right there. But obviously, so California is a huge golf hub. Where do you think within California itself, because there's many, like you said, that you have around Los Angeles, you have NorCal, you got San Francisco, Northern California, and then of course San Diego County, everything around there too. Where would you say is some of the best golf that you have played in California, and is there kind of a big hotbed there? Or where would you consider the hotbed of golf there?
There's a lot to choose from. So you mentioned San Diego. San Diego's great, right? As a town, the weather's always good there, so and they have good courses. But Palm Springs, man, Palm Desert, that's like a golf mecca. There's so many courses and good courses to choose from there. So I would say Palm Springs. Yeah, I'll go with that. You know, unfortunately, I haven't played that many great courses. I usually play like the LA City courses or that are right around me.
Mm.
There are a couple ones that are pretty nice. I played around here. Angeles National, it's pretty cool, and Rustic Canyon in Moore Park. That's a nice public course.
Moore Park. There we go.
Yeah.
We
This guy knows what's up. He knows about the valley.
have
Probably know about the
Okay.
Encino Man and the Northridge earthquake and all that.
all that good stuff. Yeah, we have family. We have cousins over that live in Moore Park.
Oh, okay.
over there, and he's a LAFD guy. He's on the fire
Oh,
department.
cool.
So pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. We've only, well, Tim, have you been out there more than once? We went out back when we were back in the day when we were kids to that area, to Moore Park in LA.
No,
Definitely
but-
overdue to go back.
Newport Beach Golf Course, $18 per player, public course. Are you kidding me? Is that
Really?
It's unbelievable.
That's unheard of.
Are you kidding me?
I
Arcadia
pay more like my little ghetto golf course in Van Nuys.
so cheap over there.
That's some Stony Lee stuff right there. $18 for 18 holes growing up. That's when you know it's good. You're either going to get, it's either a rainy day right before and the fairway is rough, or it's just dirt. There's no in between on that.
It was looking good. I played there with Mike like a month ago. I mean, it was the greenest I've ever seen.
Stony's in some of the best conditions. Yeah, there's a local course here where it just doesn't have irrigation. So when it's raining, it's an unbelievable.
It was raining when I was there.
Yeah, but if you go a week with no rain, it turns into a dust bowl.
Yeah.
Like it's literally that difference. Like
But it's 18 bucks.
Impressive. It used to be, back when we were kids, it was 18 bucks. Not even kids. It was like up until college, it was 18 bucks for 18 holes. And then they started raising the price because golf got popular, and it's sad. No, I'm kidding. I'm not.
Yeah. And
But yeah, it was $18 for 18 holes. It was an unbelievable deal. And they did twilight rates where it was like 15 bucks and you just go until the sun goes down.
Mhm.
I love those rates. Those are great. Especially
Brenda,
when we get
weren't
the
you in the-
Globey ones out.
So I saw that you were in Abu Dhabi. Is that correct? Is that where you were
Dubai.
recently?
I was in
Oh,
Dubai.
Dubai. Yeah.
Yep.
Same difference.
Yeah.
Um,
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
So how was that?
It was amazing. So the golf course is there. It's amazing. There's a city in the middle of a desert, and it doesn't make sense why it's there, but it's there. And it's an unbelievable place. And all the rich people in the entire world just go there and get wasted and have a great time. And I wasn't rich enough for that part of it. So I went and played golf instead. And the golf courses there are like, there's some of the best golf courses in the world. And that's what happens when you have unlimited money
Mhm.
and can just, they friggin' import water. But it's an unbelievable place. Like, I will say, I think it's a great city. I thought I had a great time there. The golf courses are amazing, but yes, it is a rich person's playground. And I was not in the correct. Well, no one's in the correct tax bracket there because they're rich enough where they get away with all their taxes. So where they just pay people to not have to pay taxes. So I was not in that tax bracket. But it's an unbelievable city. I got to play night golf, which was really cool. And then I did a full 18 holes the next day as well.
How much
super
was it
cool.
for an 18 hole? How much was it?
I don't want to say because it was $300. It was a lot of money.
Whoa.
Paid for by the company, right?
Not that one. That was paid for by me. The night before, though, the night golf, I played at a little par 3 course, $30. $30 for unlimited play. It was very cool. So I played about
average it out is not that bad.
Yeah, you average it out, it's like $150. We're all good.
That's something I've always wanted to do, is night golf. I feel like I've seen it online everywhere, just playing under the lights. It sounds immaculate, because that's the problem that we face here, obviously, with daylight savings too, is just we run out of time. We run out of daylight so soon.
Yeah.
So early, and so
we also get very cold. So that's the thing as well.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean,
I will
on a
say
nice summer night, I'm in.
Yeah. It's getting big. There's going to be more courses over there that do it just because like you can't really like most people won't play during the day when it's like 120 degrees. Like when I was there, it was it was like 90 degrees, which was nice. It was really nice. But they were like, yeah, this is getting cold for us here. And I was like, it is literally 92 degrees. Like it is not cold. Don't say that. But yeah, no, they're like investing in like a bunch of courses. They're going to put floodlights just because people play at night there. Like it's just it's a different thing. It was very, very cool. I really liked night golf a lot. I did it this past weekend too in Florida as well, which was really fun.
Yeah, it seems cool. They have a night golf at that course I mentioned earlier, Angel Park. And then
Yeah.
there's a course in Palm Springs that has night golf. And then my ghetto course I mentioned, Van Nuys Golf Course. They have night golf, but you know, some of the bulbs might be out, so it's not very well lit.
They have night golf, but you need to bring your Glow V ball. So that
Yeah,
way
that would help. Yeah, then you're good.
Bring your own light bulb kind of thing.
Oh, that's
with the
so
headlamp.
funny. That is so funny. Oh man. I wish, I wish we could do it up here in Mass, but we are starting to get a little bit more things. There's a 9-iron golf going in, which I don't know if or 5-iron golf. I don't know if you know what 5-iron golf is, but they're putting that into
I played that in Vegas.
Boston. They're putting a Top Golf in Canton, which is about 20 minutes south of the city.
Nice.
So they're doing a lot. Like they're finally like kind of investing in like the off year part of golf too. But then the issue becomes is like 5-iron golf from like May to what would you say, September or I would say October, probably, maybe even November now. That's going to be a ghost town because everyone's going to be, no one's going to want to go and play indoor golf when you can go play outdoor golf too. You know what I mean? Like
true.
It's interesting how it's going to be.
But at nighttime or rainy days, I mean, it's a go-to.
Yeah, that is also true. That is also true. Oh man. Well, Nelson, I do know we do have some closing questions for you as well.
Oh no, here we go.
There are, these are. I don't know if you've heard them before, but if you're ready for them, it's great. If you're not ready for them, honestly, it's even better when you're not ready for them because that way we get to see the true reaction to the questions. But Tim, I will let you take it away.
So for the non-golf question, I actually have a new one if we want to replace the old one, or do we?
Well, we don't want to replace the old one. We'll just add it.
All right. Do you want to take away one of the golf ones?
Oh, I don't know. Do we just add a question? I mean, this may go crazy. Yeah. Well, let's just add it.
All right. So for this one's one we asked to everyone. I want you to look in your backyard. I want you to take a look around. I want you to imagine a golf hole there. I want you to imagine your favorite golf hole, whether it be something you've played or something that you've seen on TV. That hole comes with all the amenities, the water, the rocks, the mountains, whatever your favorite golf hole has. Which hole do you want as your backyard? You get to play it over and over again.
Okay. All right. So TPC, Danzante Bay, and Laredo, Mexico, 17th hole.
EPC.
So I'm going to be living right on the beach, and this is my hole in my backyard.
Oh, I got to look this up now. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take that.
Okay.
But hey, you guys, real quick.
What?
So that would be my
This thing
dream
is
hole.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
incredible. It's like it's the one like on a peninsula cliff.
Yeah. Right on the cliff,
I mean,
right on the ocean. Yeah.
Now, are
You
you?
make some great sandcastles in there. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's incredible. I've never seen this. Where's this Bay?
It's
in
in Baja, California.
Gotcha.
So it's like just not just north, but north of Cabo.
Oh, okay. So like 20, like so it's kind of like a suburb of like Cabo. So like when the older people go to Cabo, instead of partying downtown the entire night, they'll go north and they'll go play some golf.
I don't know. They have golf in Cabo too, but I've seen this hole and it just kind of stood out to me, and like I want to go down there and play one day. And it's not
Yeah.
that bad. I looked up the prices, and they were like it's like 200 or 210. So to play at a
That's
place
not-
like that,
That's
it's
great.
not that bad.
Unlimited
No.
golf.
I don't know about unlimited. I don't know.
You stay in a hotel
If it's in your backyard, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, there you go.
Are you looking at the packages, Tim?
Yeah.
He's making plans already, huh?
I was
He's
gonna
making travel
say.
plans. Hey, but I just wanted to say, that question is a good question because I often fantasize about this, and that sounds kind of funny, but if I had like a lot of land, like acres and acres, I would build a par 5, but also have a tee box where it's a par 4 and then a par 3,
Yep.
and I would just play that thing
Yep.
nonstop.
Oh
Right.
yeah. No, you're reading our minds with that one, because a lot of people will say, we get Pebble 18 a lot because it's a par 5. So you get the par 5. You can do it as a par 5. You can play from the tree as a par 4, or you can move it within like 200 yards and play it as a par 3. We get that all the time. And yes, I also am on a crusade that every PGA Tour event should end on a par 5. So that way someone could eagle and win it and win the
Mhm.
tournament. But we're getting there. We're almost there. Oh man. And a lot of TPCs actually now, I will say a lot of TPCs end on par 5s. So I don't know if Del Dante Bay does, but a lot of TPCs
Tim
end
can
on
tell
par
you.
5s.
Nelson, we're on the same.
Tim could tell me.
We're on the same wavelength. I love the par 5 thing. We've said it before. Might as well get your best bang for your buck of your backyard hole.
Mhm.
Another reason why this question is good, because you just introduced us to DeZante Bay, and some of these packages are like they're paying you to go golf. This is incredible. I mean, flight included, all this like spa treatment. This is
There
incredible.
you go, guys trip.
An 18 tour, one scuba diving tour, all including in this package. This is incredible.
God, I love Mexico.
Oh my God, DeZante Bay, we gotta go.
And I don't know this for sure, but I bet you they have tacos at the turn
I bet you
Oh, I'm sure.
and
Imagine
tequila.
if we get there and they're like, no, just hot dogs. Like, do you know what you're missing out on?
God, DeZante Bay.
that's-
Wow. All right. So second question. You are stranded on an island. You have unlimited golf balls. Whatever golf ball you play, Titleist Pro V1s, whatever, TP5X, whatever golf ball you play, Pinnacles, I don't know.
Odin. Shout out to Odin.
Odin.
Shout out Odin. They sent our boys over at State Park Golf sent me
Mhm.
some Odin golf balls that I've been using. They're
Nice.
very good. They're very good.
Yeah, I like them.
No.
And they're very affordable. And the company's
Yes.
cool. It's cool to support a company like that that's for the people instead of these large corporations.
That's a good point.
Exactly. The only reason why we support Titleist is because they're from New Bedford, Massachusetts, and that so
okay.
So that's why we get them. No, but I am very excited to play the Odin. And don't worry, guys, I kept the sleeve for all of us. So hopefully I keep those sleeves. I got to keep them dry.
Back to the
way
question, though. Sorry.
The way you go through golf balls, I'm not holding my breath.
No, you should not. Those will be gone very quickly.
So Odin Golf Company was nice enough to drop off a gazillion balls on this island for you. They heard you were going to be stranded there. So you hitting unlimited golf balls and for a year. Say you're on there for a year, you get saved every year. You can only bring one golf club. Which golf club are you bringing?
I guess it would be the pitching wedge.
Pitching wedge.
Yeah, that's the thing I hit the best, I think, pitching wedge. Yeah, because if I'm going to be stranded and hitting balls, I want to feel good, I don't want to be slicing the driver or, or chunking my wedges or my other wedges or something else. Yeah, I think I go with my pitching wedge.
I love it.
Yeah.
Bring it a bit of peace and comfort to you while you're stranded on this island. I like it.
And you can do a little, you don't just have to chip, you don't just have to full swing right into the ocean. You can chip around a little bit. You have a putting green
You can
there.
putt.
I've
Yeah, you
made
can
that
putt.
rule because I chose putter, but you can mess around with there too. It would be great.
Right. All right, good answer. Good answer. Pitching. I don't know if we've had anyone say pitching wedge.
We haven't had pitching wedge. The closest we've had is 8-iron. We had 8-iron. We've had 2 irons, drivers, 7 irons, 8 irons. I like pitching wedge a lot though. Oh, we had a lob wedge. We did have one. We did have one.
We've had a couple.
One lob wedge.
Flopping it.
Mhm.
Yeah, kicking around, making 100
Sand
yards.
play, everything like that.
Yeah.
Don't even need a putter at that point. Exactly. Just holing out all the time. Lights out.
Usually we ask the hole in one question, but we already talked about that beginning of the or somewhere in the middle.
Shout out Mr. Rose.
Fantastic. All right, this one nothing to do with golf. We've been asking this for a few weeks now. It's become just an essential part of our podcast. It gets us talking about different things. So get ready for this one. Do you think a cake would be more offended to be called a pie, or would a pie be more offended to be called a cake?
I heard you guys ask this before. So I think a cake would be more offended to be called a pie, because if you go like with the hierarchy of baked goods, I guess you could say, a cake is above a pie, right? I think that's pretty well known. So
Oh,
to
those
call
are fighting words. Those are fighting words for some people.
so for a fancy cake to
Yes.
be called an
Mm.
ordinary pie, I think the cake would be very upset.
Right, in terms of fanciness and like an aristocratic kind of
Yeah, there you go.
like a
Yeah.
like
Now,
pinky up kind of
the bigger question, which is a follow-up.
There's more. Okay.
What do you like better, cake or pie?
You know what? I'm not very big on sweets.
That's
So
okay. Neither
usually
am I.
usually like when we're at birthday parties and stuff, I don't eat cake. Most of the time I won't
Mm.
eat cake.
he's eating tacos.
Yeah, he's eating tacos.
Too full on tacos. Yeah. Too full on tacos and beer, so I don't have room for cake. But I know you guys don't like the mention of cheesecake, right? I heard that too.
No.
Who said that? That's
love-
that
No,
question or
cheesecake
that
is the
answer's out of
pinnacle.
bounds.
No,
I love
cheesecake's
cheesecake.
out of bounds because it's the pinnacle. It's the perfect combination of cake and pie into one amazing, amazing dessert treat.
I love cheesecake. I like all types of cheesecake.
Boom.
Chocolate
That's-
chip
boom.
cheesecake. I just got some pumpkin cheesecake at Trader Joe's the other day. Oh my gosh, that thing was delicious.
Pumpkin cheesecake.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good. I wasn't a pumpkin guy until recently, and the pumpkin cheesecake does sound good. Sounds
And I
good.
do like pumpkin pie too, so I don't
Pumpkin-
know. I'm very torn with this question.
It's, it's,
I'm
it's
telling you, man.
50-50. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. The answers that come out of this. But I like the hierarchy, rating. Like you're saying a cake is above pie in terms of like how
Yeah,
they
the cake is fancy, man.
right.
The pie is like a working man.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it. I like it.
Working man.
Working man pie. That's funny.
Pie's amazing. I love all of it. I love all of it. All right, Tim.
I
You
asked
got the new question. This is new for us too. So me and
Hot off the press.
Brian may have heard it, but I've never heard this question. So this is gonna be interesting.
I asked a guy at work that pie and cake question, and he goes, he's like, a cake, because you can't fork a cake. I was like, oh my-
Jesus.
Like, Jesus. But anyway,
Is that
all
like
right,
the jam and the jelly?
You
thing?
know what a good answer would be?
Yeah.
Pie, because they say you can't have your cake and eat it too.
There we
Mm.
go.
You can have your pie and eat it too, though.
Yeah,
You can absolutely have your pie and eat it too.
right.
Oh,
So the same guy has a hilarious answer to this question too, but can't say that one on this one. All right. So what is a smell that is not considered to be a good smell, but you secretly like?
Oh my gosh. What? Okay. I feel like what I'm gonna say, like people do like this smell. Like I like the smell of paint.
I love that.
I like
like not like it's not like
Yeah, but you're not supposed like that is definitely there where you're not supposed to like the smell of paint. So we'll give that
Yeah,
one to
you're not
you.
supposed to be
Nelson's
huffing, right?
huffing paint. Yeah.
No, yeah.
We
It
just
used to
thought
have
that-
lead in it.
If you can't get the high of a hole in one, you might as well try paint.
Oh, let me tell you a quick story. So when I was younger, my parents had a business. They would do like cleaning and painting. So me and my friend were helping out on this job, and we were painting a bathroom. And we closed the door, and we're in there painting, and then we're like, we just got really high. We started like laughing at nothing. And then my dad comes and opens the door and is like, "What are you guys doing in here?" We're like, "Nothing," and we're just cracking up. We were high on the paint because there was like no window. We didn't open the window. We were just in there painting for like half an hour, getting high off the fumes.
hysterical.
I love that. That's hysterical. So paint's a good answer. I like that.
Brian, what's
Let's
yours?
go with paint.
Yeah, I think this might be. I don't know if this is common, but I honestly kind of like the smell of skunks.
Skunks?
Yeah, I
Like it.
kind of like the smell of skunk.
That's fantastic.
Like I don't
Smells like
actively
weed.
seek it, but like when I smell it, like, and I'm not saying it because it kind of smells like marijuana or anything, but like I just like genuinely growing up before I even knew that it smelled like that. I was all in. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good stuff. I don't get high off of it, that's for sure.
You're
But
stuck in a room with it, it's not going to be as enjoyable of a situation.
yeah, right. I'm gonna have to spend the next couple hours in tomato juice. But yeah, I don't mind that.
Brendan?
I'm gonna get a lot of looks for this one. It's between gasoline and cigarette smoke.
Wow. A gasoline.
I was gonna say gasoline. I like gasoline too,
Yeah, gasoline's that's
but
pretty
not
common.
cigarette smoke.
No,
I don't know why. I don't know why, because no one in my family smoke. None of us are smokers either. Like no one fucking smokes in my family. And like for some reason, like I don't know why I like it, but I think I like gasoline a little bit more. And like, yeah, I don't know why I like the smell of gasoline. Because when you smell gasoline, you're usually supposed to like run away. But for some reason, I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's all about association too. I feel like, especially with the cigarette smoke, you don't have any, like if your family doesn't smoke cigarettes or anything, you don't have any traumatizing experiences with cigarette smoke. So maybe you associate it with a pub. You love a good pub. So
we don't have to say that twice. I do love a good pub.
But what about cigars though? Do you like cigars over cigarettes, or what's your take on that?
I mean, yes, but like people enjoy cigar smokes. People like that's an actual enjoyable, I feel like, where it's like people like the smell of weed sometimes too. Not often, but like you know what I'm like that's normal as well. Like I feel like cigar smoke is pretty normal. Like cigarette smoke, you don't really hear anyone saying that they enjoy. So I don't know why I like it, but I like gasoline. I will officially go with gasoline though, because I do for some weird reason like the smell of gasoline.
Fantastic. Good answer. Huh.
What about you, Tim?
So I have two, and my first one is the smell of freshly paved tar. Like when you're driving over the road and it's freshly paved, I love that smell. For some reason, it's
a good one.
It's a good one.
And then the other one is when you crack open a can of tennis balls.
Tennis balls. That's a good one. That is a great one.
That is a good, because that is a very distinct smell. Like it's not like super, just you know what I mean? Like it's not super strong, but it's distinct. I would say.
That's a good one.
Nelson's like, I'm going to the store right now to buy tennis balls.
I was thinking about it. I'm like, I don't think I've ever experienced that smell, but I gotta try it.
You gotta.
My son loves markers.
When you open up golf balls, like there's no smell.
Unfortunately, golf balls don't do it.
No smell with golf balls. Nothing with like when you get a new club or anything like that.
Like the closest, I guess, is a golf glove. But I mean, those
that doesn't really even have a smell either. I will say
that gets smelly quick.
Yeah,
for sure.
I will say. So I bought a bunch of stuff for my family when I was at the golf course that I played at. They douse the shirts in fragrances. They douse them in fragrances, and I don't know why. But like I smelled like I was like I was trying one on, and you know when you like try on something and like you just like get like a quick whiff of like the shirt or something when you're pulling it over, like I was like, this smells like legitimate roses. Like, what is going on with it? So like that was like an all-time like, this is so weird that like a dude's shirt smells like roses, but it does, and I kind of liked it, and so I bought the shirt. And I bought everything else too. Bought stuff for my family, so that was nice. But yeah, that was that could be a different question. What's the weirdest time you've ever smelled a good smell? Like, I think that would be up there. But yeah, that's Tim. That's a great question. I like that one a lot.
That's a good one.
It's just something. I mean, I work at a fire department, and just the answers that come out of that is so
Jesus. That must be almost there. There must be like some life scarring like answers on that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they come quick too. It's not like there's no pause. There's no thinking. It's just boom.
Yeah, they've been waiting to be asked this type of question.
Burning gasoline. No, Timmy. No, Sean.
Yeah,
that is not the correct answer.
Yeah, it gets weirdly specific, and it's just like, oh, that's uncomfortable. But yeah, that's a great question. Not golf related in any way.
Golf related at all.
We don't have too many good scents.
I could have said my game.
Here,
I could have said my game because it stinks.
There we go. There we go. That's a good segue.
You can report back to Dom and Derek that we do like to have fun around here. So
yeah,
don't worry.
I'll let them know.
Oh man. But Nelson, honestly, man, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you tonight. We thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. You know, anything besides, everyone can follow him at tacos at the turn, underscores in between, I believe, correct?
Yeah, but if you search tacos at the turn, it comes up.
Yeah, it comes up.
Yeah.
It comes up.
Don't search tacos golf.
Don't search golf and tacos.
Golf and tacos.
F those guys.
Golf and tacos is trash. Tacos at the turn is where it's at.
That's right.
Love it. Oh man, but thank you so much, Nelson. We really appreciate your time tonight. Any last words? Any last words for the people?
Oh, just that it was great meeting you guys. It was a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys asking me. I was a little bit nervous because I don't think of myself as an interesting guy. So like when I was asked to come on the Save Par Golf podcast, I was like, I don't know if I can talk for an hour. And you know, when it turned out all right, and then you asked me on this, I'm like, can lightning strike twice? Can I do it again?
And lightning struck, baby. That's
all right. What are the odds?
All right. Awesome. Thanks so much, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys.